Now, the African Union is making an effort to preserve the continent's culture in its many forms. Africa 54 Managing Editor Vincent Makori recently sat down with Angela Martins, head of the Division of Culture at the African Union. He first asked her what the continental body is doing to retrieve African cultural artifacts that were taken out of Africa by colonizing nations.
We assist the member states.
Okay.
This is a bilateral issue. But the law is intended to assist countries in this endeavor. And also, we have the Conference of Ministers of Youth, Culture and Sport that meets every 2 years. And in their last meeting, which was held last year, October, in Algeria, they made a decision that they needed a central place where to display or keep the artworks that are returned from the countries where they were looted. So it was agreed that the Great Museum of Africa, which is a flagship project of the African Union Agenda 2063, should be a place where member states could resort to display the artworks that were looted by various countries.
Yes. Talking about the preservation and promotion of the African culture today, across the continent we see disparate things. The countries are many, the people are many, and they have different things they do. How do you define what you're targeting in terms of the culture that you want to preserve?
Culture is everything, so we have to preserve every single element of our culture. So this law again and the charter and the other instruments that we have are basically aimed at assisting us in protecting and promoting, because from North Africa to Southern Africa there's very diversified culture, and then there's an attempt in order to use festivals and gatherings in order to promote and for people to be aware of what is available in each region of the continent. And these instruments will facilitate this knowledge and this sharing of information and sharing of what is happening in one region or another.
How's the challenge of the encroachment of external culture on African culture, and how does the African Union try to mitigate that so that at least the future generation, posterity, can come to appreciate what we've had from times immemorial?
You can put it as a challenge, but it can also be a resort. Of course, we need to promote ours, but we don't say that what is coming from abroad or from everywhere else is always something. It's different. We promote ours, we preserve ours, we have to do that, but also we need to be aware of the global village.
Do you see a role in helping communities and societies and countries kind of be more harmonized, perhaps achieve more understanding and peace?
Of course, we see a very strong role there, but it's still work in progress. We need to promote more our culture so that it plays that role that we all envisage and we all desire, that it becomes the basis for everything else. At this level of creative industries, one industry that we need to really work on it so that it develops as quickly as possible is the cinema, the audiovisual and cinema. Having that in mind, the African Union established the African Audiovisual and Cinema Commission, which is an institution which will be hosted by the government of Kenya. And we are working currently with the government in order to make this commission operational.
Tell us a little bit about the upcoming event in Angola and what it's all about.
In Angola, the African Union, UNESCO and the government of Angola are organizing the Biennale on a Culture for Peace, which is an event happening from 18 to 22nd September in Luanda. The Biennale is mainly to promote the culture for peace, and many member states of the African Union have already confirmed their participation. So basically for these 5 days, we are going to have a lot of people reflecting on this important theme, which is a culture for peace on the continent.
Africa 54 Managing Editor Vincent Makori speaking to Angela Martins, Chief of the Division of Culture at the African Union.